Tuesday, March the 5th. Hey guys, it's one of our longer days. It's an aerobic capacity day, but notice how there's no heavy barbell today. We had that yesterday. Notice how there's no weightlifting cycling. There's also no row. That being said, what also do you see today? You see toes to bar. You see a pretty big volume of toes to bar. And then you see some shuttle sprints, which are a common movement for us. So are toes to bar, but maybe not at this volume. So you need to understand a couple of key points here. We spent a lot of time over the last several Wednesdays. That's our skill day. That's been our skill day. Giving you formats that were long time caps, movements, and contexts that allowed you to work on a specific skill regardless of where you are, to feel like you had the time and the space to be able to work on that thing. That's Wednesday. Today, the context is different. Today, the stimulus is different. This could be a lot of toes to bar for a lot of people. Now, that being said, there are some athletes at our gym for whom this won't be a problem with the toes to bar. And we're programming for them today, but also with a specific stimulus in mind that may require you to modify and modify early. So it's about having a plan up front for this many toes to bar. Let's just go through the format real quick. The format is one that we've used quite a few times, and it is the train leaves the station every 5 minutes. And there's a specific amount of work that you need to do such that with the intent of not having to run through the terminal to catch that next train, right? You want to have time to be resting around, waiting comfortably for that next train to leave. What are you doing on each train? On each train, you are doing the following: 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 of toes to bar and then shuttle sprints. Whereas hopefully by now you know when I say 10 shuttles of 10 meters, that means up and back 5 times, touching the line every time except for the last time. So how do we get through this volume of toes to bar if you already know just by looking at it that that's not going to be your thing? Right away. I'll address the hand thing a little later. Right away, what I'd like you to think about is, would it be fair to ask you to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and be consistent with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? If the answer is yes, let's do that, all right? Immediately do that, and that's fine. If you're not really sure, what we can't do is go to toes to bar failure. And I mean mechanical failure. I don't mean you are a failure. I mean mechanical failure. When that starts to happen, we need to know immediately. We have to anticipate it coming, and then we need to switch over. So have a plan going in. So for some people, I'd love to see just immediate knee raises or hanging knee raises. And if you do that, I think this WOD will go exactly the way we want it to. It's for those kind of people who are in between volume-wise on the toes to bar. You could certainly see this amount of volume happening in toes to bar in the open, in maybe an AMRAP format. So we have to prepare for that kind of thing. Maybe not the week of, like we kind of hope it's not that volume, but at the same time, the people who are in between, who are like, yeah, I could probably do this pretty well for a round, maybe not 5 rounds, then I want to set a target of like, when it starts to not feel great, I'm going to do 2 or maybe 3 toes to bar, and then I'm immediately going to switch over to knee raises and feel good about that. Because we know, I'm just saying it right now, like we know this is a lot of toes to bar for some people. And we want you to know and feel comfortable and like correct in immediately just modifying. Like, let's just get through these rounds today. Okay, so, you know, when I say that some people can do these, I'm one of those people, and I just did this, and I was always having like 2 minutes or more of rest each round, such that each time I got up to do the new set of 10, the first set of 10, it always felt great because I had recovered. I had a long period of time to recover, which is why we want to make sure that we're having recovery periods today. Because even though this may seem like a lot of hand volume, it's not a lot of hand volume all at once. It is up, and then you have a bunch of other stuff to do, and then up, and then you have a bunch of other stuff to do. And we feel like that does keep your hands safer. Now, I'm saying that knowing that some people have trouble with hands. I'll tell you, I just got done these, what is it? That's a lot of toes to bar, and my hands are fine. There's no big deal at all. In fact, I think that the kettlebell snatches we did last week were worse for the hands than this. Now, a couple things about the hands. One, if you're concerned, you should definitely do hand maintenance right now. While you're watching this, go do a little hand maintenance, sand down your hands a little bit. Number two, you want to avoid a mixture of wetness and dryness on the bar. So I opt for, and I highly encourage people to, like, don't immediately jump to the chalk. I used 0 chalk today and it was absolutely fine, even though I'm very, very sweaty. No chalk. So try to avoid immediately jumping to that if you don't think you have to. A couple other things. We feel like this is long enough out from the from Friday's open WOD that, you know, hands are resilient. They recover pretty quickly. So even if you were concerned about your hands today, I wouldn't be for Friday. I wouldn't be personally, but that's me. So if you are someone who's going to be very concerned about your hands, go do something about that. Or the last thing I'll say is, for people very concerned about hands, or for whom already maybe have something going on with their hands, we can do V-ups today. V-ups are fine. V-ups are an absolutely okay modification for this one. For everybody else, like, just think about it. Think about what this would be like if you just flew through 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, unbroken, hanging knee raises. You would get a great workout in. You wouldn't have had to worry about your hands too much, and you'd have time to get on that next train. That's kind of what we want to see today. Don't be struggling and doing sets of, this is not the day to do sets of singles on toes to bar. It's do a couple of toes to bar, as many unbroken as you can, and then immediately switch to knee raises and move on. All right, guys, enjoy this one.